Yes, Hare Krishna. We are here in Sayadri Sri Krishna Balaram Kshetra in South India, and we have with us today Dr. Sreekumar, who is very much involved as a professional veterinarian for many years with one of our projects here in India, and possibly others, Gokul Dham in Karnataka. The topic that we want to especially cover briefly is on grazing, and many people probably don't have heard the term possibly, but there's many things actually that need to be known, and maybe you can explain a few important features and how important it is, and why we should be doing it, especially those who have goshalas, those who have rural projects as we have here, for example. Yeah.
So, one of the major utilities of a cow, which they by birth are inbuilt, which the quality they have, for which you needn't train them or in any way put any abuse them. There is one quality which they have, which they know by birth, is to graze. All other things, if you want to work them also, you will have to train them. If you want to milk them also, you will have to train them. But to graze them, you needn't actually train them. They know better. As a calf, as soon as it delivers, if it can go and drink its mother's milk, likewise, if you leave them, they know to find their food. So as per Shastras, we are not supposed to hold the cows to feed them. You are supposed to leave them for self-feeding. So, but self-feeding is grazing. So they have supposed to, when morning mantras, our Agnihotra, first mantras, it is recited in there. That is, as soon as the sun rises, they are supposed to be left. And in Vedas it is told, anyone who keeps them, even after the morning mantras, will suffer in life. That means he will have to take dung, he will have to cut grass, he will have to do all those mean job he is doing now in the Goshala, which he needn't do. The cows can go and pass dung and urine where you want. You needn't collect them and put them there. Even if you collect the dung, you are not able to collect the urine. It's not reaching the land where you want it to reach. So, but in this system, when they graze, where they move, what do? Exactly what you do with a plant, with which you, like a rose plant, you do the pruning. And then after pruning, you rest it. The same way they go cut the top, and then you have to rest that land, and then it grows. So what happens in grazing is, the impact is for a short time, and then it is rested. You give the impact for a short time. You cut a grass, and it is rested. So just imagine this is a piece of grass, one grass. They come and bite the tops only. They never cut from the bottom, as we do the grazing. They chop from the top. And once they chop from the top, they keep moving. So the whole herd will be moving. So an next person also will chop and go. And because of that much impact, the dung, urine, everything falls there. So they will never prefer to come and eat from that area. It is, by nature, by the process, it's protected from overgrazing. But if you have only one cow and if you leave them freely, they will go by this. Again, if you don't provide them the new land, they'll again come and buy the next. So it is pruning the same rose flower daily. So that rose flower will die.
Right.
So same wise, the grass has to be just pruned and allowed, provide sufficient rest for it to again grow from that point. So then, by doing that, and one more thing is that you have to move cows, not just one cow. Group of cows should be moving like that.
As a herd.
As a herd it is. So as a herd, when they move, they will eat and go, dung, urinate, so that they will never come to that area tomorrow. So then they will go to the next patch. So this spot will be rested till that smell, everything goes.
Can you explain briefly something you were talking about a little earlier? What kind of dimension for how many square feet or square meters?
See, if depending on the size of the cow, if it is a 400 kg cow, North Indian cows, which are cows which height is above 120 centimeters at the shoulders, those cows, they have about more than 400 kg. They need per day 50 square meters of 3-month rested grassland. If you provide, that is their one day meal. So if you have 50 cows, so it is 50 into 50, it comes to 2,500 square meters per day. 1 acre is 4,000 square meters. So 1 acre you can keep 50 cows for 2 days.
Yes.
50 cows for 2 days. They will get sufficient grass for them to feed.
Yes.
Likewise, we have to keep moving and you have to use the land.
Okay.
And that is one context, that is grazing. But if it is your agricultural land, then you needn't keep them, you didn't keep it for 50. You need to give them only 3 square meters for one night. But you have to feed them there.
You're also mentioning about, in the context of grazing, how cows in many places, if not most places, can be and should be outside and not
inside.
In the Goshala.
They are not to be in the Goshala.
Even at night time.
Even at night time, they have to be in an enclosure only. It doesn't mean that you have to have something on top.
Okay.
They have to be in an enclosure. So enclosure is our protection. That is out of our love. We want them to be enclosure.
Yes.
So even in grazing also, they are actually moving in an enclosure because of the herd.
Yes.
If they are out of that enclosure, the predator can attack. So that enclosure is only that herding.
Okay.
So at the night time, since we are not there, so we need an enclosure to keep them there. And this enclosure should be either your paddy field or your agriculture fields or your grazing land. It can be anywhere.
But some people will say that, especially in an area like we have here, for example, there are wild animals, and what about the protection of the cows at nighttime?
See, we selected this area. We selected to come here where there is wild animals. Then the first thing we have to have is you have to have protection. So in Vedas it is told that any land, there is told you have to move in 10 miles. So 10-mile area, you keep your animals there, you provide all infrastructure there, protection, fencing, everything, develop that land and then move to the next 10 miles. So likewise here also, in this 17 acres, you should move from, decide this area I'm going to select for agriculture, then you keep the cows there, develop the land, and after seeing that, then use that for agriculture and move to the next batch of land where you can do this. That is one way when you want to do agriculture.
Right.
But with this grazing, you have 17 acres here. This 17 acres land, if you are able to give it for grazing and integrating cropping and agriculture, cropping and grazing, you have sufficient land for 56 days with your 40 cows. Right. So every 56 days you can rotate.
Right.
Come back to that land. So if you want to do some agriculture, maybe 2 acres, the 2 acres you rest for 120 days. Other lands you rest for 56 days.
Right.
Maharaj, wherever we cut the grass and give also, we are cutting every 45 days.
Right.
This is, we are getting even another 10 more days for the grass to grow.
So it's just a matter of knowing a little mathematics.
Yes. Little mathematics and just seeing the growth of the grass, and you decide where they should go. It's not that they should go from 1 to 2 only.
Right. Correct.
You see the growth of that particular area, how the grass is growing. Oh, it is ready to be grazed. Send the cows there.
Can you share briefly your experience in Gokul Dham? Because more recently this has been applied maybe more so than before.
Yes, what we did there is, it is also an area where there are wild animals. So we first, 180 acres was fenced all around. And then in that 150 acres, we fenced another 10 and 15 acres, 25 acres was fenced again. And we gave 3-month rest to that land. So that now that grass is having 3-month grown, 3 to 4 months grown is there. And into that plot, we have introduced the cows on a daily basis, 2,500 square feet we are moving. So once the cows go into one plot, the grass is actually above them. And after 12 hours, you see that they have eaten or they have totally laid the grass on the ground. And evenly they have dunked. And we have not lost even one dunging or one urination. Full dunging and urination is there concentrated on that 2,500 square feet of land. For 14 cows we have kept. The next day morning, after 12 hours, we moved them to the next plot, where they are there for another 12 hours. We can even club it to 24 hours if we have 5,000 square feet. Okay. It can be done that way also.
Yes, yes.
But the impact will be more if you do it in 2 plots. Because the logic here is short period, high impact, and then rest.
Yes. So
That is
resting is the most
resting
important.
is very important. See, even if you are doing paddy cultivation, you throw your seed and then you rest that land for 120 days. Even if you cut and give grass also, you cut once and you rest the land, then only you get another cutting. So resting is very important.
Yes.
So you have to give the impact, rest, and then get the next crop.
Yes.
So in grazing also, that is the principle that is going on. They come in groups, graze an area, then you rest that area because of their dung and urine. Naturally, because of the dung and urine, they don't come to that area.
Right.
Then they go to the next plot. So that is what happens in grazing. So in Gokuldham now, that land, so we have grazed, put up 10 to 15, 25 acres. That 25 acres is sufficient for them to feed one round. It takes 120 days.
Yes.
So in 1 year, you can take 2-3 crops from that land alone.
Correct.
That is enough and more for them to eat. They are getting fully grown grass.
What is that term that is used? The ground impact? What is it?
Animal impact.
Animal impact.
It's called animal impact. Animal impact is their dunging, their urinating, their chipping the soil, all the compaction of the soil because of their hoof movement. They chip the soil, allow the water to seep inside, and because of their dunging, the natural flora in that will be triggered. The dung beetles come. They take the full dung. In 2 days, the dung goes inside and they bring the subsoil up. It's called bioturbation. That they do the same thing we do with our pickaxe.
It's like massaging Mother Bhumi.
Yes,
It's like
it's like that.
Yeah.
You don't continuously 24 hours. You don't massage.
Right.
You just put them there and then you have to rest that body, but that part. Same way you do. Then that impact is there. Naturally, when you massage, you have the blood flow there. Same way you have the microflora flow there.
Yeah.
So, and then that land gets developed. And you have to give sufficient rest period for that land for them to rejuvenate that. Even in the forest, if you see a place where an elephant goes to eat, they will completely clean that area because of that movement. And then they don't go there. And that comes to the even better growth only after the next time they reach there.
Yeah,
So
correct.
that is the process there
Yes.
of agitating the land for a short time and leaving. But if you continuously do it, for example, in a patch of land, you continuously walk to the center of the land. Daily, if you walk to the center of the land, the impact is continuous. Then no grass will grow there.
Correct. Yes.
So the impact shouldn't be continuous. It should be only for a short period. Maximum impact, rest it.
And
then
the periods that they have selected or you have selected in Gokuldham is like 12 hours. isn't it?
12 hours in 2,500 square feet area.
Okay.
It can be 24 hours in 5,000 square feet also. It can be
yes,
done.
yes.
But the impact will be more if you do it in smaller batches.
Correct.
Depending on the brittleness, depending on the type of soil,
Right.
we can decide how it has to be done. For me, Maharaj, it is your land. It is not a brittle land.
Right.
You don't need that much impact.
Yes.
And another thing is, you have the cows which don't give that much impact. You have the dwarf varieties.
Right.
The dwarf varieties, their movement, their impact is according to the soil of this land.
And you were mentioning about some movable fence or
Yes,
something.
movable fences. That is, if you want them to be concentrated in one area, because we have lesser numbers and more area. During Krishna's times, it was more numbers were there.
Yes.
So then you don't need the fence because the herd itself is the fence.
Yes.
Now we don't have that much numbers. If you have one cow, that rope is that fence. You tie them, they move around that particular area. And then you move them after the 12 hours or 4 hours, you move them to the next area. That is enough if you have one cow.
Yes.
But if you have more cows, you keep tying them with the rope will be difficult. So then in that case, you have to think of a small enclosure, a movable thing, not a permanent thing, a movable paddock.
Okay.
With bars and some sort of net meshing.
Yes.
If you put. So then that 2,500 area you are doing this, enclosing them the cows for 12 hours there. The time you can decide if you want to, if that the grass is not grown much, you can 6 hours. Nothing wrong is there.
Right. You can adjust.
If you have that, you can adjust. If you think that impact is more, you can move them to another area. Even this 2,500 you can divide into 1,200 for 6 hours, 1,200 for 6 hours. That way also you can do. Then the impact is even more
Right.
because short period.
Yes. Yes.
When you increase the impact, you reduce the time.
Yes.
That is how it is.
Yes. And that is very much in line with what is written in our Shastra.
Yes, Maharaj. Because 9 lakh cows, when they move through one area, it is only a short period they cross an area. That time you are getting the short period maximum impact.
Correct.
And then they will never come there because it is full of their dung and urine.
Yes. Yes. And
Everything
also-
will be smashed and they will be eating and they will be laying.
And especially because in that time, in those days, so many forests, virgin forests were there.
Yes. So they're keeping moving. And that is, Maharaj, that movement, that is actually trapping the water. Whatever water falls there will be immediately taken inside because it is fully open. See, Maharaj, now in Govardhan we see this big holes that have come on the soil. Next rain, you can see the whole water will seep down only.
Correct. Yes, yes.
Previously it was compacted. Now there is a lot of holes. Ants have come, termites have come, all with holes.
Yes.
It is fully aerated now to receive the water.
Correct.
It makes this movement, makes the soil ready to accept the rain and make the rain effective by fully seeping down.
Yes.
And effective rainfall is what which stores the water and provides these plants when they need.
Yes.
But if it is compacted soil, whatever falls will only flow away.
Yes. We'll have to close now. Actually, it's getting a little dark. But thank you very much for sharing on the topic of grazing, which, as you nicely explained, is something that is extremely, actually scientific, because it's there in our Shastra as well. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.